Hello and welcome to our third video in a four-part video series that we call Shelter Talk. We're focusing on the impact of the Spay-Neuter clinic at the York County SPCA. And the goal of these videos is to give our community a behind-the-scenes look at how we operate at the York County SPCA. And joining me is Dr. Mann, our clinic medical director. And in this video, we want to talk about microchipping. Microchipping is one of the services that we provide in the Spay-Neuter clinic. So Dr. Mann, tell us, how does a microchip work?
Yeah, so a microchip is a very small device about the size of a grain of rice, and it can be implanted under the skin in an awake patient or in an anesthetized patient using a hollow needle. It's almost painless to administer. A microchip is not a GPS tracker. It doesn't have a power source like a battery, but the way it does work is when a microchip scanner is passed over the pet, a radio frequency communicates a 9 to 15 digit number that's unique to that microchip.
Okay, that's really interesting.
Yeah.
And so then what is it important to register a microchip? And if so, like, what does that mean? How does that work?
Absolutely. So the microchip is only as valuable as the accurate information that's connected to it. Through our Spay-Neuter clinic, all microchips are automatically registered using the client information when the appointment is scheduled. So that's not something you have to worry about here. But certainly if you were ever to move or if your pet would be rehomed, you want to make sure that the phone number and address are updated. That way, if your pet were ever to get lost, end up in a shelter, we would be able to easily reunite them with you.
Very cool. And then the last thing I want to talk about is there like a special memory that comes to mind when a microchip did its job?
Absolutely. So in our Spay-Neuter clinic, we have a program where people can bring cats in to be spayed and neutered through trap, neuter, return. We don't know the history on those cats. We don't examine them until they're under anesthesia. One cat that was brought in through that program, once it was anesthetized, we noticed was already spayed, and it did have a microchip. Thankfully, the owner of that cat had kept that information up to date, and we were able to get in touch with them quickly. That owner had actually moved to Missouri 6 months previously, and they dropped everything to come get their pet. So that's a really great story of, such a huge divide between pet and owner, and they were able to reclaim their pet very quickly.
And he was happy to be reunited.
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right, last question. Do you remember how many microchips you and your team administered last year in 25?
Yeah. So in 2025, we administered 4,517 microchips, which was 3 times as many as we did the year previously. And that's because we started requiring microchipping as a service for every owned animal that comes through our clinic. We certainly focus on spay and neuter, but we are also part of the York County SPCA, and we want to make sure that pets can be reunited with their families.
Yeah, very good. All right, the last thing I'll say is to point out that Dr. Mann and I are wearing York County SPCA merchandise, so please consider purchasing our merch. It supports our work, and if you want to buy our merchandise, there's a link in the description of this video where you can buy our t-shirts and sweatshirts and other things.